What's up? Good morning. Uh, it's a Saturday. It's my scheduled day off. Hello. So, late. Let's talk about all things late. Some things. All right, so here's my attitude about when I'm running late. I'm not a firefighter. I'm not going to save lives. So if I was, I'm pretty sure I'd have a different attitude. I feel like if I was a firefighter, I feel like I'd put it up all of the time. I would never want to get unsuited. I mean, I know they learn how to suit up extremely fast. But I don't know. So I think about those things. Ugh. All I'm saying is I should have left around 7:10, and it's 7:30, 7:29, and I'm supposed to be there by 8 on a Saturday, but it's not worth me breaking any laws. It's all good. That's about all I had to say about that. Well, this has been a great talk, and we're going to go ahead and shut down the stream. Just kidding. Good morning, Miranda. Cold as ice. Yeah, I flagged the video as I have to do that with the group chats. There's still one. I need to go back on the one from last week. I'll mark all of them as age restricted. I assume that everybody that watches me is an adult anyway, but yeah. Yep. Somebody complimented a certain person on the stream and for having good self-control, and then they said thank you with expletives because they think that they're hilarious. It's just not hilarious. It's not hilarious to me, only because I know the cuss words. I know all of them. I know other versions of them, so on and so on. It's what is common. It is obviously far more uncommon for people to have clean speech. Far more uncommon. And that includes speech that comes from the heart, or that includes speech that isn't on a list of cuss words, but is still clean from your heart is clean in regards to your words, because you actually want to be merciful and gracious and loving, and it's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm going to flag all my group chats with age restriction. Not that that means anything. I don't even know what that means or what that does. I know it means you can't be monetized on that video. Which, by the way, now that I think of it, that is very fascinating to me, because my theory goes, or hypothesis, maybe that's more appropriate, is that I'm getting another red light, so I'll glance down. Advertising, you don't get your advertising money if it's age restricted, because my hypothesis goes that advertising is kids. It's all about the kids. It's all about the youth, children. The nation is targeting the children for everything, everything, and it's fascinating. So here's some of the fascinating aspects. Children lack context. Children aren't stupid. Children are very honest. Well, children lie all the time, but what I mean is, in regards to calling, I don't know, there is a certain aspect of nonsensical. I don't know how to phrase it. Maybe you'll get it. When I say that kids are honest, kids say the darndest things. They're very okay. Right, more proper word. Kids are typically extremely unfiltered. Okay, extremely unfiltered. So that I think that's the best way to say what kids are. Young people are very unfiltered, and over time, there's a refining process, a filtration, so to speak. So there's that. That's a really good metaphor. But this is in relation to advertising and how children are targeted. April 13th. That's today. It's like an Easter egg hunt or something today. I don't know. Anyway, but children, they lack context and perspective. They may be smarter than you think they are, and all of that, for whatever that even means, because it means something. I mean, maybe it's the nature of the concrete thinking that children have, and they lack a lot of abstract thinking at a young age, and we admire the aspects of concrete thinking, because in some ways some people grow up to even forget what it even means to be concrete. Thus the nature of people refusing to believe in absolute truth. Well, that comes from a place of things not being concrete, and basically somebody going through the process of saying, oh, well, that's not a concrete truth. Well, I'm just going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and everything is abstract. Everything is figurative. And that's obviously a mistake. Anyway, so being that they lack perspective, provably, it shouldn't be that hard to, oh yeah, of course, they lack perspective. That does affect their ability to make appraisal and evaluate circumstances, advertisements, whatever it may be. follow? I follow you. You follow me. There's a Eufaula in Georgia or Alabama or something, and it's a being that they lack perspective, they're going to be easier to fool in regards to advertising, and it appeal all the advertising and all that. It's going to appeal. You're going to need to slow down, yeah, because I'm merging. I'm not going to take it easy, but you got to be realistic over here. But I'm also going to go the speed limit. So here we go. And it's funny, you see cars going 70 miles an hour. If a car does the Doppler effect, and I hear their engine, and I'm going 70, I have to imagine that in some cases they're going 95. They are actually morons. But then again, in a relativistic sense, we're all pretty crazy for even, just think about the maximum speed of your body, like what you can do with your own legs. And then you give yourself and the damage that you can do by running into something. Like in some cases, you could die just running into a tree. So, seriously. And then you think about a bicycle, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're potentially tripling your speed. And that can be lethal. And then a horse. And you've got up to 35 miles an hour. And you can fall off a horse and die. And then you've got cars. And you can get a crash and obviously die. And then, but it doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. There's rockets, airplanes. Yeah, we don't want a fifth wheel. We do not want a fifth wheel. It's just not. Nope. Motorhome. We want a motorhome. And we are watching and seeing some of the most gruesome. See, here's the thing. Back to the perspective talk. My wife and I are actively researching all of the worst things that you could possibly, you spend your everything you have, your life savings or whatever, you get this RV, and then the roof is cracked and all this bad stuff. And it's like, oh, so our home is, what do we do? How do you re-roof an RV? And I guess it could be done. I don't know. I don't know much about that. I just know about the horror stories, which we're trying to fill our brains with so that we don't lack perspective. So, does that make sense? Maybe that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. When I'm merging, if I see that somebody's definitely traveling 15, 20 miles faster than me, I don't try to intentionally merge in front of them. I'm just gonna get over. I'm gonna be in the middle lane, go in the speed limit. You guys can just deal with it. So, children, they lack perspective. They lack awareness of abstract thought. Young children, and as time goes on, they gain the ability to be more and more abstract and think about situations and hypotheticals and all of that, and they make better appraisals over time. But a 9-year-old is going to make decisions based on, most of the time. There can be mature 9-year-olds. Most of the time. It's going to make decisions based on feeling and triggering of neurochemicals and all that stuff. And that's exactly what marketing is all about triggering, just like food and a lot of these other things. It's designed. There's foods that are designed in laboratory settings or laboratories, whatever, for you to like it. Chemically modified, adjusted, whatever, for palate, mouthfeel, all these different things. The sugar level of different foods and drinks is absurdly high. Absurdly high. There's people drinking 2 and 3 Coca-Colas a day, or just pick any, because they're all the same. 64 grams, 68 grams, 74 grams. Some of the ones that you're like, oh, ginger ale, got ginger in it. Do this, it's healthier. At least it's a little bit healthier. It's got a thing that I know is a real thing on the planet. It'll have like 74 grams of sugar. It's like, oh, well, that's disgusting. What's remarkable, kombucha is interesting because oftentimes it has a lot less sugar and still, can have tons of flavor. The Coca-Cola of kombucha, I've talked about it before, is BUCHI. That's their name brand. I used to find it all the time in North Carolina, and it was even all the way up in DC, but it's an Asheville company, so obviously they'd be in Western North Carolina. Asheville, North Carolina, Bucci, and anyway, they had like 20 something grams of sugar, which is a lot for kombucha. And when you drink it, it's like, oh wow, it's pretty sweet. Not overwhelming, obviously, because it's orders of magnitude smaller than other sodas. So what does that have to do with what I was talking about with children and lacking perspective? It's about how everything is designed. Marketing, it's all designed to just trigger your brain, to get your dopamine. This is one doped up nation. Just keep everybody doped. They won't ask as many questions. Oh, wow. No, they were definitely going 100 miles an hour. No less than 90. And they were in like a rental car or something. That was really fast. And yeah, you might have been able to see them like through the back windshield, but they were hauling. They're out of sight. Like, just really fast. I haven't seen somebody driving that fast in quite a while, actually. Probably last time was somebody on a motorcycle. But it's terrible for them. Because even in an emergency setting, you just need to drive strategically. You don't have to speed. Staying calm and getting there alive is far more important than the 12.5 seconds or whatever. I'll stop. Maybe I won't. Maybe I won't stop. I just got distracted and confused. There's clouds this morning, and you can see visible rays of sunshine shining through the clouds at these different angles. Technically, they're all the same angle, but it just looks really weird. Yep. What does this have to do with anything? How did I get started on kids are the ones being advertised to? Oh, age restriction. Wow. So, bring it back round circle. Kids are being advertised to. It's because it's easier. They're just easier targets, obviously, and it's been going on for about 100 years. The shift has been taking place where adults are the pawns of the children because of the way that marketing works in this country. And I'm not saying that's true for everybody at all, but it's common. It's common. There's a problem with that. So I like this subject of filtration. Children are unfiltered. Yeah, don't you hate it when people follow the speed limit? It's rough. It's annoying, isn't it? Just always getting in my way. I'm just trying to drive here, and you're lowering your speed down to the sign on the side of the road as if that's meaningful. So there you go with that abstract and limit. What does limit even really mean? It just means something that doesn't have any meaning. The speed limit, the thing that I bring this up very regularly because I'm driving for all my streams, or most of them rather. Here's the thing. It is a great example for understanding the metaphor of how the law frees us. Okay? It's a great example because right now I'm just going the speed limit. I'm not thinking about when I'm going to get there because I'm going to get there. I will always get there determined on the time I leave and traffic. So people that speed a whole lot might have a little bit more internal locus of control, but I'm going to poke a hole in that and say, you think you're in control, but you're not nearly as in control as you think you are. Now, I'm not saying to have a gross level of external locus of control. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that you should probably chill out with the whole I can control everything in my life mindset. Life's not like that. Doesn't work that way. If it did, everybody'd be a whole lot more successful. At least you would think. People would have more of what they, I don't know. I know for any of you thinking, well, maybe the ones that are most successful are the ones that have a major internal locus of control. Sometimes, but there are plenty of folks with an external leaning that are successful because they understand how the world works, and it's not the determining factor in your success. Poverty mindset, however, being an extreme example of external locus of control, is obviously really just a psyop and or excuse to not work hard. called the poverty mindset. It's when you blame all other things for your situation. You're not trying to do anything about making it better. 2 people, that's amazing. How do I have more people show up at a stream at 2:45 in the morning? 2:45 in the morning on a Friday morning. Did you guys all sleep in? We got different time zones. I get that. But 2:45 on a Friday morning, I have like 5 and 6 and I don't know. I think it got up to 8, or maybe only 5 or 6. But then on a Saturday, is everybody sleeping in? It's all good if you are. Shabbat shalom, y'all. Shabbat shalom. I'm recalling a conversation I had in my brain. I'm working it through. Some of us chew on the cud, metaphorically. Some types of people hear stuff, live, experience, they put it away, they don't pull it back out, they move on, and those people are called extroverts. I'm kidding, but I think that is funny to argue that extroverts aren't very introspective. It might be true. I don't know, but I think it is really funny. But I recall information and situations, and I think about it and chew on it, and then I put it away. I might chew on it some more later, another time. What's the purpose? Reflection, perspective, growth, all of that. Extroverts, it's just different. It's just a different way. They can be, I don't know about introspective, I'm sure they can. But extroverts can obviously do the same thing in a different method. Self-appraisal and all those sorts of things. I don't know. How could I turn this channel into something that is far more organized? It would require even more, well, just simply put, it would require more intentionality. And possibly even more time in preparation. I like the nature of picking a topic and just kind of doing the free association thing and writing it out, figuring things out together. I do like that. But I also know that focus is appreciated. So I get it. And it's pragmatically good to be focused too, because then you can name videos appropriately and you know what you're going to get. Because as it stands now, I talked about how you should just chill and not risk your life by driving 15 or 20 miles over the speed limit. And that's pretty much all I had to say about late. So then I went on to other topics. And somehow the age restriction comment sparked my brain to go into a whole world of interesting nonsense. I guess it makes sense. It's just unpleasant. Unpleasant truths. Well, I had ice cream last night. I probably shouldn't have, because I was on the verge of making it through the whole day with one meal in my belly. Then I had some ice cream. You done messed up, Aaron. You done messed up. It's okay though. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. But I am hungry again. It's nice to be hungry. It is nice to be hungry. If you're always shoving something in your mouth because you never want to experience hunger, then you're probably missing out and getting fat, more than likely. I mean, seriously. You're either getting fat with your body or you're getting fat with your brain. It's good to have seasons, and it's good to experience lack. And that's what fasting is part of what fasting is good for. Not the totality, but part of what it's good for is to bring to our mind the what it means to be hungry, and what we should be filling that hunger with. I'll let you take some guesses. I'm glad you like it. Apparently nobody likes to wake up on Saturday morning, except for you two, so thanks for being here. So I've noticed that, good grief, I don't know if grief is involved in what's happening. That's the smell of burning brakes. That's so crazy. I saw a bunch of smoke from the tractor trailer, but there's not any mountains around here. And that's usually where I get to smell that horrible smell. Oh. Why, good grief? Why? How did that happen? That's it. I probably don't have enough time to figure that one out by the time I get to work here in about 3 or 4 minutes. How did that happen? Good grief. Grief. Why grief? Good grief. I'm gonna have to look it up. Edom Online is one of the websites I like to go to, but it doesn't do phrases necessarily. Sometimes it does, but that one, Quora, winds up being a popular response to people ask these questions. But there should be a better etymology dictionary, like etymology phrases. Edom Online is excellent. It's very exhaustive. I wouldn't mind having a physical encyclopedia of etymology. That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. Hey, look, it's a green light. So, you like the Hangouts? Yeah. Obviously, we've made a habit of it. And it's different every week. Slightly different. Obviously, different topics. But my hope is that over time, there will be growth. Over time, there will be evidence of God's grace and His work in all of us. I hope that that's evident over time. That's really my primary hope, is that people see Christ in us, the light, and it's tough. It is kind of tough, but not impossible by any means. All things are possible with God. Well, look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Saturdays used to be like 12 people were here. Things are so busy. The parking lot is half full over here. There's like 40 cars because it's just whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm here to work, and I've got to cut it out, go on inside, move on with it. Y'all have a great day. Read your Bibles. Pray. I'll pray for you, Miranda. That's a lot of work. Yes, they do. Yeah, I have three. I have 3 kids, Miranda. Oh, William showed up. Thanks for being here. Yeah, well, I'm glad you survived the car wreck. $8.4 billion in education. I wonder if the result was good. I have a feeling it wasn't. Government doesn't know how to spend money. Homeschool if you can. There's a lot of comments. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna roll. I've got to go to work. So, all right. Have a good day, and I'll see you when I'm done.